Madam Speaker, today I rise to address the pressing issue of climate change and the urgent need for comprehensive action. Climate change poses one of the most significant threats to our environment, economy, and way of life. The scientific consensus is clear. Human activities, particularly the burning of fossil fuels, are driving unprecedented changes in our climate. These changes are leading to more frequent and severe weather events, rising sea levels, and widespread ecological disruption. Our response to this crisis must be swift and robust. We cannot afford to delay any longer. It is imperative that we transition to a low carbon economy, invest in renewable energy sources, and implement policies that promote sustainability. This will not only mitigate the impacts of climate change but also create new jobs and stimulate economic growth. The government has a critical role to play in this transition. We must set ambitious targets for reducing greenhouse gas emissions and provide the necessary support for industries and communities to achieve these goals. This includes investing in research and development of new technologies, providing financial incentives for clean energy projects, and ensuring a just transition for workers in fossil fuel industries. Furthermore, we must strengthen our resilience to the impacts of climate change that are already unavoidable. This involves enhancing our infrastructure to withstand extreme weather events, protecting our natural ecosystems, and supporting communities that are most vulnerable to climate change. We must also work collaboratively with other nations to address this global challenge. Climate change knows no borders and it requires a coordinated international response. This means upholding our commitments under the Paris Agreement and working towards more ambitious global climate goals. In addition to government action, we must also encourage individual and community level efforts to reduce carbon footprints. Public awareness and education campaigns are essential to inform citizens about the steps they can take to contribute to climate action. Simple measures such as reducing energy consumption, using public transportation, and supporting sustainable products can collectively make a significant impact. Madam Speaker, the cost of inaction is far greater than the cost of taking action now. The longer we delay, the more difficult and expensive it will become to address the impacts of climate change. We owe it to future generations to act decisively and responsibly. The time for debate is over. The time for action is now. Let us seize this opportunity to lead the world in the fight against climate change. Let us demonstrate that economic growth and environmental stewardship are not mutually exclusive but can go hand in hand. By taking bold and decisive action, we can build a sustainable and prosperous future for all. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Dash. Madam Speaker, today I would like to address another critical issue that affects our society, healthcare. Access to quality health care is a fundamental right that should be available to all citizens, regardless of their socioeconomic status. Yet, we know that many people in our country still struggle to receive the care they need. Our healthcare system faces numerous challenges, including rising costs, disparities in access and outcomes, and the increasing burden of chronic diseases. It is essential that we take a comprehensive approach to reforming our healthcare system to ensure that it is both equitable and sustainable. One of the key steps we must take is to expand access to affordable healthcare coverage. This means strengthening public health programs and making sure that everyone has access to health insurance. We must also address the high cost of prescription drugs, which puts a significant financial strain on many families. By negotiating better prices and increasing transparency in the pharmaceutical industry, we can make medications more affordable. Preventive care is another critical area that requires our attention. By investing in preventive measures such as vaccinations, screenings, and health education, we can reduce the incidence of chronic diseases and improve overall public health. This not only improves the quality of life for individuals but also reduces the long term costs of healthcare. Mental health is an integral part of overall health, yet it often receives inadequate attention and resources. We must work to eliminate the stigma associated with mental health issues and ensure that mental health services are readily available and accessible to all. This includes integrating mental health care into primary care settings and providing adequate funding for mental health programs. Furthermore, we need to address the social determinants of health, such as education, housing, and employment, which have a profound impact on health outcomes. By addressing these underlying factors, we can create healthier communities and reduce health disparities. Our healthcare workforce is the backbone of our healthcare system. It is crucial that we support and invest in our healthcare professionals by providing adequate training, fair compensation, and a safe working environment. This will help to attract and retain talented individuals in the healthcare field and ensure that patients receive the best possible care. Madam Speaker, the challenges facing our healthcare system are complex and multifaceted, but they are not insurmountable. By working together and taking a holistic approach, we can create a healthcare system that is more efficient, effective, and equitable. This is not just a matter of policy, it is a matter of justice and human dignity. Let us commit to making the necessary changes to ensure that everyone in our country has access to the health care they need. This is a goal that transcends political divisions and speaks to our shared values of compassion and fairness. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Dash. Madam Speaker, I would like to turn our attention to the importance of education in our society. Education is the foundation of a strong and prosperous nation. It equips individuals with the knowledge and skills they need to succeed in life and contributes to the overall well being of our communities. However, we know that our education system is facing significant challenges. Many students do not have access to the resources and opportunities they need to reach their full potential. This is particularly true for students from disadvantaged backgrounds who often face additional barriers to success. We must ensure that every child has access to a high quality education, regardless of their socioeconomic status. This means investing in our public schools, providing adequate funding for educational programs, and ensuring that our teachers have the support they need to do their jobs effectively. Early childhood education is a critical area that deserves our attention. Research shows that early childhood education has a profound impact on a child's development and long term success. By providing access to quality early childhood programs, we can give all children a strong start in life and set them on a path to success. In addition to early childhood education, we must also focus on improving the quality of education at all levels. This includes updating our curriculum to reflect the skills and knowledge needed in today's world, investing in technology and infrastructure, and providing ongoing professional development for teachers. Higher education is also an essential component of our education system. We must work to make college more affordable and accessible to all students. This includes providing financial aid, reducing the burden of student debt, and supporting vocational and technical education programs. Madam Speaker, education is the key to unlocking the potential of our citizens and building a brighter future for our nation. By making the necessary investments and reforms, we can ensure that all students have the opportunity to succeed and contribute to our society. Let us commit to making education a priority and to providing the resources and support that our students and teachers need. This is an investment in our future and a testament to our commitment to equality and opportunity for all.